Tranconis, it's full of absolutely awesome people, and I am lucky enough to meet Andre Ferrella. Hello, Andre. And Andre agreed to be on my YouTube channel. So let's just have a nice, pleasant, and full of sharings conversation. And I understand, just a second, let me come closer. I understand, Andre, that your art is absolutely very, very unique. And the fact that you connected art with the science makes it very, very inspiring. And I'm very curious how that happened. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Living pictures you're talking about.
Yes, you showed me the pictures, right? And there is a website where people can look at your art and your creation.
AndreArtist.com.
And how do you spell your name so people can know?
Okay, here's the website. AndreArtist.com.
Beautiful. That was done beautifully. Everybody can get it. And now tell us how it happened when art and science met together.
Yeah, art and science has always met together. But what I discovered in 1994 was an organic photographic process that I called the living picture process. In Europe it was called the mold picture process, because what had happened is my working negatives, which were the old film style, which were the old film strips, as we remember, were plastic polyester based.
Yes.
And coated with basically a food gelatin. And that's the substance that held the light sensitive material. So when basically the gelatin on the film gets wet, it swells and allows the chemistry to go in and change the structure of the negative on a chemical level. What I had discovered was that my negatives got all waterlogged, and ended up that I found them and they were all destroyed. So-called destroyed because the gelatin acted like a nutrient for bacteria and mold to survive.
Interesting.
Much like a petri dish, where they take a sample and they
got
grow
the cells,
culture to see what the bacteria is. And so I was so disappointed, because these are all my working negatives as a photographer who was basically a light painter and not a documentary photographer. And then I decided to put one in my enlarger, and I blew it up on my big easel, like 60 inches by 90 inches, and I went, oh my God. At the same time, it looked like it was coming off the Hubble Space Telescope images from outer space. It looked like it was coming off the electron microscope. And from that point on, my whole concept of space changed. Because what happens out there happens here, and it's all the same.
So you captured some sort of magic.
I think it was God's magic.
Beautifully said.
And I just happened to discover it.
Lucky us.
I think throughout history this has happened before, because it's always been a nutrient for cultures and bacteria to survive. It's the primordial soup. It's where we come from.
That's it. Yes, you said that.
And so it blew my mind. So what I ended up doing was making all these large-scale prints, and I put them all in a big box and I shipped them to Kodak. And they called me and they said, we had never ever seen anything like this before. We haven't seen color this incredible coming out of our paper. So they ended up sponsoring my whole exhibition in Europe, or represented the United States, the USIS, which is the United States Information Service, for an artist abroad, Delta Airlines, Mercedes, a whole bunch of sponsors. And it was just an amazing discovery.
So are you saying, Andre, that that was kind of a little bit accidental discovery, wasn't it?
It's a discovery. All discoveries are basically sort of accidental unless we are guided by the great spirit of God.
Yes, so this discovery led also, I think, to something that people can say that each piece of art, even if it's done intentionally or it's done accidentally, has its own soul. And this soul help us to maybe bring some medicinal healing, maybe not medicinal, just natural healing, right? Inspires us and brings more soul to everything that's surrounding us. Am I correct?
Well, yes, you are correct. But also, in the living pictures, it's not really a healing, but more like an understanding of deep knowledge of nature.
Yes, I can agree with it. Yes, expanding
the
this.
The microcosm and the macrocosm come together and are basically all one and the same.
Beautifully said. I really, really appreciate that you shared this with us. And there is one scientific organization that your name is included. What is it? You told me that they actually acknowledge your discovery.
Oh yeah, there was a corporation, there was a biotech corporation earlier on, 1996. They published me in their worldwide catalog, comparing me with Da Vinci, Delacroix, Rembrandt, Shakespeare. It was just amazing, and it was published in the science world, and they called me the discoverer of the living picture. Let me explain that, because I called them the living pictures because I printed the same negative 6 months later, and it had changed. And I went, they're alive. It's alive. It's living.
Expandable. Beautiful. Andre, thank you for sharing. I feel very, very privileged that you agreed to be on my channel and sharing your life path and sharing your art with, all over the world. And today, because we are just at the Pacific Ocean, and there are some people walking, and you also brought
I'm painting a painting.
Here you go. So now we got the ocean, Pacific Ocean. It's alive here, and it's captured on the canvas, and we can admire it and just see how the art is happening right here in Trancones, Guerrero Province, Mexico. So thank you very much, and thank you for agreeing to be on my channel. And I hope that you guys also help me to support my project. And if you want to know more about it, the link is below. Thanks again, Andre.
Muchas gracias, Yoasha.
Thank you.